Hey Froggy friends, Kirostyle here. Welcome back to BlazBlue Continuum Shift Extend. Thank you so much for joining me here on stream, for those of you that are sticking around, and welcome to those of you coming in from YouTube as well. We just finished the true ending of this game, and now the last thing we have left to do is we're going to go through this Teach Me Miss Litchi section, which is a bunch of little skits. It's kind of like the first game, although there are less of them. Explains a little bit of the backstory and lore behind the BlazBlue universe in a bit more depth, in ways that maybe are not directly related to the story, but help build your understanding of the story. And they're little humorous, chibi-style skits with Litchi, Taokaka, and other characters as well. Doing this will unlock a couple of extra pictures in the gallery, so when we're done this, we're going to go through the gallery and look at all the pretty artwork in there that we didn't get a chance to look at so far. So I think there's 5 episodes of Teach Me Miss Litchi in this game. And of course, you have to do them in order to unlock them, but they're fun. So let's get going. Teach me, Miss Litchi.
Teach me, Miss Litchi.
Hide the women and children. It's back. Teach me, Miss Litchi Reloaded.
Oh, what the heck is all of this? Everything's all puffy and round. Meow. I have no clue as to what this is all supposed to mean, but it sure looks really cool. Meow.
Well then, shall we get started? Let's get it in gear.
Onward. Meow.
Teach Me, Miss Litchi Reloaded, Episode 1, Reunion, the 3 girls from the Academy.
Oh, I wonder who it could be. Yes, who is it?
Hidey-ho there, Miss Litchi.
Oh, hello there. What's the matter? Did you girls hurt yourselves again? How many times have I told you not to play with matches or destructive Nox Nictoris?
No. Makoto wanted to come out and play. I thought that might get in the way of work, but she wouldn't listen.
Oh, there you go again, Tsupaki. Making it someone else's fault. You were just as excited about the meat buns as everybody else. Don't even try to front, girlfriend.
I was just...
Isn't that right, Noelle?
Me? Yeah, I think? It too, Noelle.
Hey, what's going on in here? It really got lively all of a sudden, meow!
Yep, but there's nothing to worry about, Tao. For some strange reason, I don't seem to have any patience today.
Meow! I wonder why.
Actually, I am truly curious.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, we will graciously accept your generous offer.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing, Tao.
One more thing? For Tao? What is it? Are you passing out some of your delicious meat buns already? Give them to me, meow!
Hold your horses, Tao. They're not ready yet. However, on a completely unrelated note, you've all come at the perfect time.
Huh? Why's that?
Tao, this is the perfect opportunity to put all of your studying to use. Now, show everyone here the new and improved, dangerously leveled up Super Tao!
Come again, booby lady? Tao? Leveled up?
And I even said dangerously leveled up. Please don't tell me you've forgotten everything already. You studied oh so very hard. Huh? You mean you seriously don't remember? Oh, my head. I think what little confidence I had in you was starting to fade.
You dumb cat. Don't you remember anything? We all worked our butts off trying to pound something through that thick skull of yours.
That's right.
Sorry, Tao forgot everything. Huh?
Were all of our efforts, all of our desperate struggles for naught? Oh, the humanity!
Now, there's no need to cry.
I don't remember if I mentioned this during the first game too, but I'll show you. It's really cute, the little cursor in the corner of the screen is Laoju's head spinning around.
We probably tried to teach her too much at once, which is why nothing stuck. Maybe, I think. I'm not too sure either, but yeah, what she said!
Please, please don't tell me that we'll have to start from square one again. You obviously have no clue as to how humiliatingly painful it is to teach Tao anything.
If only there was some way to make sure the knowledge sticks with her.
Maybe we should have a spinning Kirby head as part of the loading screen. Actually, that'd be pretty cute. Hey, Lucian! Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by. Good to see you today.
Aha! That's it! How could I have possibly been so foolish? I completely forgot about that thing.
Oh yeah, there's little loud shoes passed out in the corner under the peaches and the sides of the text box, too.
What thing, Meow? Food?
That's right, Tao. But not just any type of food. This!
No way! Are those glowing bits of something actually...
Yes, that's right! Medicine made from the mighty mentat plant.
Cats? Wait a second, booby lady. Tao is still a kitten, you know?
Hush, Tao. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. The mentat plant is a mysterious plant whose miraculous properties have been passed down through the ages. It's good for almost every ailment under the sun, from achy joints to migraines to reversing full renal shutdown. While Tao Kaka isn't physically ill, I'm pretty sure this this will make Tao's mind more responsive to new ideas.
Ah yes, let's just give her some drugs.
Oh! Alright! Let Tao try some! Meow!
Well, how is it, Tao?
I love Tao's little eating animation in the Teach Me sections.
Oh. It tastes like hurting! Meow! I don't think I like it very much, booby lady!
Well, how it tastes isn't important. What's important is how your head feels. Do you feel any smarter yet?
I'm not really sure. Meow.
I guess this is what I get for getting my hopes up.
Don't give up just yet, Doc. This is herbal medicine we're talking about. It's gonna take some time for it to kick in.
Of course!
Don't startle me like that, Tsubaki! What's the matter?
I just remembered. There was a method I used to use back when I was a student, and it had noticeable results.
That sounds promising. Don't leave us hanging. What was the method you used?
Eating!
What? Didn't we already try that just now?
Yes, I've heard of that before. Scholars from ages past frequently use that method. They would literally eat the pages they'd studied, swallowing them whole.
That sounds effective.
Yes, exactly!
I see. Tao, here's a dictionary for you. Now, eat it. All of it.
You want Tao to eat this? Is paper tasty? Meow!
Oh! No, you can't just eat it straight. It doesn't taste very good. You'll need to season it with something. I recommend ketchup. Or peanut butter. Or both.
What? Tsubaki?
Right! Meow! This tastes horrible! Tao is very disappointed! Yeah, well, of course, I kind of suspected as much. Excuse me.
What is it, Noelle?
Actually, I bought something a while back because, well, I wanted to become smarter too.
Really? And what would this mysterious item be?
This! The revolutionary Ludovico Brainflexomatic Model 1984!
Model 1984, you say?
Well, judging it solely by its name, I'd say it's suspicious as hell. But wait a second. Why are you carrying it around with you?
Noelle, where did you get that?
I saw an ad for it in a magazine, so I went to the Orwellian Industries website and bought one.
Ah, yes.
Are you sure that this is safe?
We'll never know until we try, right? Okay, Tao, put this on your head.
Oh? Does Tao need to eat this one too? Actually, you put it on your head like this. money's definitely on fail.
Oh, don't be like that! Now, let's flip the switch and...
I can't remember if I said this in the first game, but like, you know how everyone has a special electrocuted sprite? Like when they get shocked by Rachel's magic? There's a lot of little Easter eggs in there. Like when Tao gets zapped, inside her long sleeves, there's like 2 giant like fish bones inside them, which implies that she's carrying around 2 fish underneath her sleeves. Or if you shock Relius, it's revealed that like parts of his body are like mechanical, like as if he's been experimenting on himself.
That can't possibly be healthy for her. Turn it off! Turn it off right now!
But why? That's what it's supposed to do. At least I think so. Okay, I'm turning off the switch now.
Meow! I don't feel smarter at all. I feel tingly.
Well, I guess we need to come up with something else.
You need to feed Tao some of Kokonoe's candy, because that worked in Tao's Help Me Professor Kokonoe, where she gave her the candy and she turned smart for a little bit.
Hey, I just had a brainwave. Individually, none of these things worked. But how about we try them all together at once?
That's it! Everyone always says 2 heads are better than 1. This is just like that.
I don't think that's exactly right.
Then, let's get everything together!
Yes, stick that in your ear, and be sure to eat the dictionary and the medicine together, Tao.
Whoa, I don't think...
Yes, that's amazing, Tao! Yes!
How can you call this amazing with a straight face? Turn it off right now, before the NOL Animal Welfare Division comes down on us! Meow. I see stars. Lots and lots of stars.
Tao! Oh, look at you! You're smoldering.
Are you okay? Do you know who I am? I see 3 sets of boobies and 1 cutting board.
Oh, don't do her dirty like that.
Cutting board? That's so cruel!
Ah, and I had such high hopes for this method, too. I must apologize for everything we've done to you, Tao. I should have known that there can be no substitute for good, honest effort. I don't know what got into me.
I guess it's like you said. We'll have you use conventional methods of study. It might not work at first, but I'm sure over time we'll see some results.
Oh, and I have the entire first season of Teach Me Miss Litchi on DVD, so feel free to watch through them should you need a refresher course.
I'm sorry. I got carried away too. I know there's nothing I can do that will make up for the atrocities committed here today, but if you would like my help with your studies, then I'd be glad to give it.
Yes, perhaps that is a good idea. How about we get started right now?
Yes, a brilliant idea. All right, Meow. Hal's gonna study really hard again and become the strongest something there is. Please teach me, everyone.
Cutting board? She actually compared me to a cutting board.
Noelle, lighten up. I'm sure she was just a little out of it back then. Probably, maybe, no, I'm sure of it. Kinda.
Yeah. Well then, what should we study today?
Yes, let's see. To be honest, I wasn't expecting this turn of events, so I didn't come prepared. Tao, is there anything you'd like to learn?
All of that was just a preamble.
Let's see. Oh yeah, how about those clothes you guys are wearing, Meow? How come they all look the same? Do you guys swing that way? Tao would definitely want to learn about that.
Tao.
I'm pretty sure I don't want to know what you mean by that. Actually, we're all from the same school, and this is our uniform. You know how all the members of your village wear the same clothes? It's kind of like that. Oh, I understand. More or less. Meow. So what kind of place is this school? Do you guys take naps together or eat food together and stuff?
No, it's nothing like that, Tao. You see, a school is... Oh, I know. How about we learn about the NOL Officers Academy today?
Meow. Tao is a little bit interested in that.
Little bit? All right then. How about we learn a little bit about the Librarium Academy today?
Thank you very much for your help.
Let's get to studying meow!
What is the Academy all about, Meow?
Well then. Please allow me to explain, as I am a representative of the student body.
Let's hear it, meow! Go ahead.
Too. What are you guys doing over there? You're supposed to be over here. You're gonna help me explain this. You both went to the academy. Of course you're gonna be helping explain. Isn't that obvious?
All right, we get it.
All right, let's try this again. The academy is where we study to become officers and soldiers for the librarium. Lots of people of different ages go there.
Meow? It's where you study?
Yes, that's right. It's where you train to become an officer.
Meow! I see. So it's just like Tao.
Yes, I guess you could say that.
Do I think I would be a good teacher? People usually tell me that I'd be a very good teacher. I mean, one of my early jobs was I used to tutor and teach pretty much all school subjects to other students. People say I'm also very patient.
And this military academy place? What kind of people go there? Could Tao go too?
Well, technically anyone can go, but it's fairly exclusive. Lots of students study for a long time just to pass the entrance exam. A lot of those kids come from families with high expectations, like the families of the duodecim. Otherwise, you can get in on a recommendation, and on rare instances, some especially promising students are scouted by the librarian. There are actually some schools whose entire curriculum is dedicated to teaching kids how to get into the academy.
What? You have to go to school to get into school? Tao is very confused.
Yes, well, it's a very competitive school. That sort of thing isn't too out of the ordinary. Well, in some places at least.
Competitive? What?
It's really hard to get in.
Meow? Does that mean Tao couldn't get in?
I wonder. In order to get in, you have to take a series of tests to gauge your ability.
Tao's really good at beating up people, meow! It's like the green grass that horses use to make silk purses on the other side of the fence!
Huh? I think you're going for easy as pie. Tao, you see, the tests don't just test your physical strength.
What was that, booby lady?
Yeah, and not only do they measure your physical strength, your stamina, and your academic level, you also have to take a series of Ars Magus aptitude tests.
It might be a little tough for you, Tao.
Also, I'm just noticing now how small Tao's head is compared to, like, Noelle's head, for example.
Huh? Why would it be tough for Tao to get in? I mean, seriously, even the lacking lady got in.
Hey! What was that supposed to mean?
May I continue?
Meow, please.
I'm sorry. Please, continue.
If you can pass all of the entrance tests, then you'll be accepted and move out of your house to live in the dormitories.
Hold on there a second, meow! You mean you have to leave home?
Yes, that's right, Tao. It can get a little lonely at times. It just goes to show that you need lots and lots of determination if you want to succeed at the academy.
I see. The path to becoming stronger is not an easy one.
Oh, military academy, where art thou?
Well, it sounds like Tao could be recruited at any time, meow. But I have no clue as to where this military academy thing Oh well, if I get lost, I'll just pull the whole cute kitty in the cardboard box routine. It worked pretty well the last time. Meow.
Where is it? Well, why don't we have Noelle explain this one?
Me? I can't do that.
No, you have to. If you're going to be a good officer, then you'll also need to be a good teacher.
Yes, ma'am. The military academy is, in the 15th hierarchical city, Torifune.
Huh? Tao can't hear you! Meow! I guess your voice is lacking as well!
Tao, mind your manners. You shouldn't speak like that to those who are teaching you. I must apologize for her behavior. I think Tao forgot to clean her ears this morning or something.
Meow? Tao may look like this, but Tao's always clean. Tao licks herself clean from head to toe every day. Meow!
Huh?
Now, Noelle, tell us where the academy is.
The 15th hierarchical city, Torifune.
Meow, I see. So where exactly in Torifune is it?
Maybe I should be more specific. The entire hierarchical city of Torifune is the academy.
Meow! You mean from the bottom all the way to the tippy top of the mountain? It's all one big school?
Yes, that would be correct. This is also why Torifune is also called the academic city.
That's amazing! The school must be super, ultra, mega, lots of other words for really big! Meow!
Yes, well, that's right. But while the school might be quite large, the city itself is one of the smallest of the hierarchical cities. There are only a few 100,000 people who live in the city, and, about 80% of them are somehow related to the academy.
100? What? Hell can't count that high! There's only about 100 kakas in the village!
Oh, I see. Oh yes! Let's take a look at the city! The city is divided into levels. At the very top of the city is the Torifune NOL branch. The second level is a port for all Ars Magus-powered vessels. Unlike the other hierarchical cities, this port is the only way you can enter and exit the city.
Meow? Only one entrance and exit? That sounds inconvenient.
That's actually the intent of the design. I mean, they did it on purpose. Once a student enters the academy, they are required to stay within Torifune at all times, except for the one break that we get a year. And they are really strict about upholding that rule. One of the ways they do it is by only having one point of entry and exit.
That sounds like being in jail! Meow! Tao wouldn't want to live under the thumb of the man like that!
Well, rules are rules, so... Also, having only one port helps to protect the safety of the students. Students of the NOL Military Academy could become targets of terrorism or other violent acts. The larger hierarchical cities will generally have other smaller ports besides the main one. And they're also connected with each other via a gondola of some sort. Well, let's move on. The third level is occupied by the security and management departments. In order to arrive or depart on an Ars Magus vessel, you need to come here and fill out all of the necessary paperwork. During holidays, it gets really crowded and chaotic. The fourth level contains all of the facilities for junior high to college level students. The fifth level is for preschool to elementary school students, so this is where we go to school.
Oh! I see! So this is the school! Finally! I get to see it!
Yes, well, actually, only these two levels have schools on them. The sixth level is the business district. Each level is designed to be kind of like a small city, but the business district in particular has lots of stores. but the entire city is under NOL's jurisdiction, which is why it is very well organized and systematic. Moving on, the 7th floor contains dormitories for all of the students and faculty. It's like everybody's house. And levels 8 to 10 are off limits to all students, so quite frankly, I don't know what's down there myself.
I got it! I think.
Is that so? Tsubaki, how did I do?
Not bad at all, Noelle. You see? You're pretty good if you just go for it.
I was really nervous.
How exactly does this academy thingy work, Meow?
Wasn't that interesting? I actually didn't know much about how the military academy worked either, so it was a learning experience for me as well.
Oh, no, you're too kind.
Yes, I mean, what she said.
Tao, do you have any questions?
Meow. I do, but I don't. I mean, I might have. Tao's not sure.
Well then, is it alright if I ask a few questions for myself?
Yes. Let me answer, please. Pretty please.
Thank you, Makoto.
So who manages and administers the military academy? Officers, I'm guessing, right? Or is the running of the academy the responsibility of the faculty members?
Well, of course, there are teachers to teach us, but most of the day-to-day management is actually handled by the students.
Huh? The students run the school?
Yes. Well, to be accurate, the student council handles most of that. But for the most part, students not only manage the operations within the school grounds, but they also provide most of the security as well.
A lot of the BlazBlue side novels and manga take place in the academy and are prequels to BlazBlue Calamity Trigger, so you'll see a lot of background about characters from the school and stuff, including, characters that did things in the past, like Relius or Valkenheim when they were young.
Wow, I never would have imagined. So are there any special requirements to become a member of the student council?
Well, since there's a lot of responsibility on their shoulders, generally those who are skilled at combat, are smart, have a high Ars Magus score, are good at multitasking, etc., etc. You get the idea. They're selected from among the elite of the elite. Which is why I can say with a clear conscience that both the class president, Jin Kisaragi, and Tsubaki here are totally freaking awesome!
Makoto, that's not true.
But I'm just telling the truth. Since the student council is responsible for a great many of the operations within the academic city, in a way, the council has a great deal of influence in what happens throughout the entire city.
That's pretty amazing. I'd like to hear more about the subject, but I think we can save this particular subject for later. May I ask you another question?
Please, ask away.
How do you move between the different levels of the city? Do you have geared elevators like the other cities? Since the school facilities seem rather far from your dormitories, I can only imagine how hard it must be to go between them every day.
We have the standard elevators like any other city. The power source is more or less the same type of Ars Magus as well. But since the city is under the direct control of the librarium, the Ars here is a little more impressive. The elevators are really super cool and sturdy. I don't think I've ever heard one squeak. They're really fast, don't shake, and do a good job of not crushing passengers with excess G-forces. You can just daydream for a couple of minutes, open your eyes, and bam! You're at your destination.
I'm a little jealous now. In Kagutsuchi, much of the infrastructure is incomplete. In fact, many of the lower levels can only be accessed by a series of very long stairways. I'd like to ask another question, if it's okay.
Of course. Shoot.
The Academy claims to welcome all applicants, but in the end, you have to enter the NOL military and, at times, risk your life in combat situations, correct? Would you girls mind if I asked you why you wanted to enter such an academy? Of course, only if you feel comfortable answering. Or are allowed to.
problem. For me, the answer is simple. If you make it into the military, you get all kinds of special rights, as well as financial aid. Since my family is really big, money gets kind of tight on occasion. My parents worried about me entering the academy too, but they also take a lot of pride in the fact that a member of the Nanaya family could become an officer in the NOL.
I was born into one of the families of the duodecim, so my going to the academy and joining the military was never in question. It just seemed natural.
Actually, I also wanted to help my family with the financial aid and special benefits stuff too.
Oh, I see. Well, girls, thank you for taking the time to explain all of that.
Not a problem. It was a lot of fun.
Curtain call.
I just wanted to thank you all again.
Thanks, ladies! Little boy? No, it was our pleasure, really.
Yeah, and I'm not a little boy.
If you need our help again sometime, please don't hesitate to ask.
Are you sure you want to make an offer like that? I could use your help every day.
Every day?
I was joking.
Thank goodness.
All right then, Tao. Let's review what we've learned today.
Redo? Don't tell me you want Tao to go through all of that again!
No, Tao. Review. I'll ask you some questions and you answer them, okay?
Meow! That sounds like fun! Ask away, booby lady!
Okay then. Here's my question. Who manages most of the operations within the military academy?
Oh, am I answering this? Number 1, principal. Number 2, the student council. 3, the duodecim. 4, the lacking lady. What's the cursor? Is that it's like a golden peach.
Amazing, Tao.
Wow.
I knew you'd be able to learn all of that.
Now you're one step closer to becoming the ultimate vigilante.
Oh, yeah! Ha!
Amazing.
And as a reward, a meat bun. Here you go, Tao. Dig in.
Wait, was there only one question?
Meow! Meat buns are the best!
Well, I think it's time we were going.
I love Wiggly Tao.
Oh, but I made enough for everyone. Please help yourself.
Oh, I wouldn't want to impose.
Meow! You mean you're not going to have one of Booby Lady's firm all-natural meat buns? I will strike down upon those with great vengeance and with furious anger those who attempt to defame and resist the power of her delicious meat buns. Meow! Okay. Anyway, she has a point. I think. It would be a shame to waste food, you know? So, I'd love to help you out with those.
Me too.
Noelle, there's no need to be so nervous. I did make enough for everyone. I enjoy cooking, you know?
Oh, well then, in that case, I think I'll have one or two, too.
Yes, here you go. Ah, that reminds me.
Reminds you of what?
I have one more thing I want to give you.
You're being really generous today, Booby Lady!
Here you go.
Oh! Is it edible?
Oh, she gave us artwork for the art gallery.
No, it's not food, Tao. It's a picture suitable for framing, wallpaper, or just for wrapping fish.
Well, that's all, folks!
We'll have a closer look at that art in the gallery later. Since, I think I was blocking the little tiger head. Episode 2 has been unlocked. Dang, that episode was a lot longer than I thought, but I guess it's because it's like the intro one. I don't think the other ones are as long as that, but they're still, you know, they're fairly lengthy for something that's pretty, like, small in the grand scheme of things, which is really nice that they did this. For people that care about all the lore, world-building stuff.
Teach me, Miss
my
Litchi.
dear Miss Litchi.
Teach me, Miss Litchi. Reloaded, Episode 2. I want to learn more about Vidge's somethings. Are Scruffy Man and Shorty really friends?
Another day of peace and quiet. Not another soul to be seen. Which means that Taukaka should be making an appearance any second now. Maybe I'll steam some buns and wait for her. Now that that's decided.
Hey there, booby lady! Tao came to study some more! Meow! Where'd she go? Oh no! Did booby lady finally succumb to the awesome gravitational pull of her boobies and get sucked into her own cleavage?
Tao! I'm surprised you know what gravity is, actually.
Tao, don't be stupid. Anyway, welcome.
Meow! I humbly accept your kind and generous welcome.
What's with the proper and polite speech? Never mind, I don't want to know. Anyway, you have perfect timing. I was actually getting bored and a little nervous because it was a little too peaceful.
Oh, then Tao did something good! Oh, wait a minute.
What's the matter, Tao?
I know you said it was all peaceful and stuff, but there was lots of crazy stuff happening on my way here, meow! Tao was starving, so how did he put it? Ignored all of that bullshit.
Tao, where did you learn such a vulgar word?
Oh, good guy taught me.
The good guy taught you? Oh, he's such a potty mouth. Oh well, no matter. We'll have lunch after we study for a bit. So, Tao, are you ready to begin?
Let's go! Wait a second.
No!
What was that cry of unendurable anguish? And where did that horrible stench of sweat come from?
I won't lose. This doesn't hurt at all. It doesn't hurt!
We're almost there, so just hold on a little longer and try to keep the groaning and screams to a minimum.
Boss, we're here!
Whoa! Where did all of these people come from? Meow!
Excuse me.
Oh, hello there, Carl. And Bang's subordinates. And Mr. Bang?
Huh? How could you possibly tell? I thought the mosaic mercifully concealed his appearance.
Honestly, Shorty, Tao doesn't really see the difference.
My face. This handsome face is so banged up.
Well, for the time being, it's painful to look at. There's no really good way to talk about this, so if you could just treat it...
Yes, you're probably right. Let's just get this over with.
Ha ha! Outrageous! You're incredible, Miss Litchi. I'm hale and hearty again in no time flat.
That's probably because there wasn't much for her to do, meow!
What? How dare you say that to the most handsome man of this century? Yeah, what he said!
I have a question. How did you get injured like that? And little Carl's here. Don't tell me you two are fighting.
That's not entirely, strictly true. Carl and I were training. He is my disciple, you know.
I never said I'd be his disciple.
Training? Is this true, Carl?
Huh? Well, I guess.
What? Is my word not good enough for you? Why are you asking Carl?
Oh, no real reason. Anyway, Mr. Bang, I was under the impression that you were a master, correct? Then how is it that you're the one who's hurt? I was under the impression that the master was usually stronger than the disciple.
It's because he's pretty feeble, meow!
What? What? That's ridiculous. I went easy on him. No reason to hurt the boy, after all.
I wonder if that's true.
Even Miss Litchi doesn't seem to believe me. Carl, say something!
Right. He didn't perform his Furin Kazan attack when he had the opportunity. Maybe he was going easy on me after all.
That's probably because he forgot how to do it.
I would never forget a sacred secret technique. I am, after all, the ultimate ninja.
That's right. Our boss is the ultimate ninja.
Really? That sounds like a big fat lie. Meow!
What? You're my disciple. How dare you speak to me that way?
Now, just calm down. Anyway, it's time for Tao to study.
You're still studying? Wow, Miss Kitty, you're really trying hard, aren't you?
Yup! It's because I forgot everything. Meow!
Is that so?
Unfortunately, yes. So, Tao, what were we going to study today?
Tao was going to learn about vigilantes.
Aha! Then please allow me. You are in luck, for I am the ultimate vigilante, and my disciple here is the number 2 vigilante. Leave the education to us.
Way to go, boss.
Tao, you are my precious disciple as well. You are all but guaranteed a spot as the number 3 vigilante.
I don't remember being your disciple. Meow!
Tao, hush! Mr. Bang, I must thank you. It's really nice of you to do this. And Carl, are you sure you want to help out?
I'm not too sure about the whole number 2 thing, but sure, I don't mind. What do you think, sis? It's all right if we help out, right? My sister is okay with it as well.
Meow! Super not soft person is a nice person.
Aw, stop it. You're making my sister blush.
All right, let's get started. Cram Tao's head with learning!
Where did vigilantes come from? And why are they here, Meow?
Tao wants to become a vigilante, but why are there vigilantes when we have the NOL? Tao is kinda confused here. I mean, if there are bad people to capture, it looks to Tao that we only need one or the other. Meow!
The librarians are evil, cruel, selfish people. True, many vigilantes are simply after easy riches, but in the end, we reduce crime and maintain the peace.
What he said.
However, Miss Kitty does have a valid point. I'll explain how the vigilantes came to be. You do know how the population was radically diminished due to the destructive powers of the Black Beast, right? In order to protect and preserve the remaining population, regulation on crime became even more strict. However, crime continued to stay out of control due to the lack of places to live, discrimination between races, conflict between social classes, and even the influence of Seether, making it almost impossible to enforce the law.
But isn't it the NOL's job to beat up bad guys?
Yes and no. However, the NOL isn't exactly like a police department. Their focus is on crimes that directly impact the NOL. And on a related note, the soldiers of the NOL are usually the best of the best, the elite. The NOL gathers only those they deem worthy of representing them, and then trains them to be superior to those around them. If an NOL soldier were to die in the course of apprehending a common criminal, the loss to the country as a whole would be immeasurable. Therefore, the NOL doesn't concern themselves with ordinary crime. Also, the NOL is organized along military lines and tend to move around in large groups, so they wouldn't be too effective against common criminals.
The NOL isn't as strong as I thought they'd be.
They're very far from being weak. Like I said, they're just organized for a different purpose.
Meow. I guess I get it. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll move on then. For the sake of appearances, the NOL has a police station in each of the hierarchical cities. However, the reality is that the NOL doesn't really have the manpower required to enforce the law. So that's why the vigilante system was created. The NOL doesn't care about your abilities or even what kind of person you are. If you can apprehend the wanted criminal, then they'll reward you in turn. On the other hand, if you were to get hurt or even die while in the pursuit of a wanted criminal, the NOL will take no responsibility. That's why there are no tests or contracts for vigilantes. I did mention that there's no tests or contract before, right?
I remember a little bit of it, meow! That's why Tao and even Scruffy Man here can become vigilantes, right?
That's right.
What?
But I thought that vigilantes had to make promises!
That's almost correct. Agreements would probably be more accurate, though. This will be a review of last time. But do you remember the 2 things that all vigilantes must agree to that I told you about before?
Meow! Nope, Tao doesn't remember a thing.
If I remember correctly, they were you must follow NOL instructions and you must provide information to the NOL, right?
Yes, you are correct. Those are the 2 most important ones. But there are others, such as you must not involve civilians or hurt them in any way. I mean, that's a given, but... Oh, I almost forgot about this one. Another important one is you must not organize in any way, shape, or form.
Why is that?
If enough vigilantes organize, their organization might gain enough power to become a threat to the NOL.
I see. That makes sense. So, is there anything else that vigilantes have to agree to?
Yes, but most of it is really nitpicky stuff. Nothing in particular comes to mind at the moment.
Thank you, Carl. That was very educational.
Thanks, Shorty! That was really easy to understand!
Really, Tao?
Meow, meow!
Yeah, NOL stands for no organized labor. Not allowed. So, who should vigilantes be going after, Meow?
Tao's plan is to capture Ragna! Meow! But if Tao catches Ragna, doesn't that mean all of the vigilantes have to quit?
Why would you say that?
Because there wouldn't be anyone else to go after. Meow!
Oh, Tao, how adorable yet undereducated you are. I, Bang Shishigami, shall teach you the art of capturing bounties.
Oh! Thanks, Scruffy Man!
Now, first examine this picture. Now, allow me to explain. Anyone unfortunate enough to witness a crime must report it to the library.
Mr. Bang?
Is something amiss, Miss Litchi?
If you keep saying the library, Tao's just going to get confused. So do you think you could use NOL instead?
Ah, I see. Yes, you have a point. Wise and beautiful as always. Of course, Miss Litchi. I will abide by your request. But don't forget, Tao, the NOL is also known as the library or librarium.
I think I've heard this all before.
So, when the library, the NOL, receives notification that there has been a crime, they create a wanted poster. Of course, sometimes they don't have the identity of the offender, and so the NOL will disclose information about the crime in question to vigilantes, who will then investigate and determine who perpetrated the crime.
Meow, meow.
Next, I will discuss how a wanted poster is published and posted. Ah, Tao, have you ever seen a wanted poster before?
Maybe yes, maybe no. Meow. I'd probably go with no.
Tao, I thought you wanted to become a vigilante because you saw a wanted poster with Rargna on it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think it looks something like this.
Wow, he looks as horrible as ever.
The offender's name, face, and bounty are printed on the wanted posters the NOL publishes. These posters are then sent to the hierarchical public offices, who then post them in designated areas.
High-arcing public orifices?
Simply put, it is a government office managed by the NOL for the purpose of managing non-combatants. If something happens, citizens will often visit one for help. Generally, They are not the sort of places one would wish to associate oneself with. But work as a vigilante sometimes necessitates strange bedfellows, and the public office is one such fellow.
Oh, yes. In the case of Ragna the Blood Edge, it seems that the NOL not only distributed the wanted posters themselves, but they also gave a series of public warnings. I take it that rarely happens?
Rarely would do it an in-service. To the best of my considerable knowledge, that was the only time such a public announcement was made.
You're right. I've never heard of them doing that before either. It must mean that Ragna the Blood Edge is a serious threat to the NOL.
Ha! For me, he poses little more threat than a baby.
Man, boss, you're so cool.
I'm strong, handsome, smart, and utterly dependable, you say? Ha ha ha! You are too kind.
I don't think they went quite that far.
At any rate, the wanted poster also displays what is called a grade, along with a name, face, and bounty. This grade is a symbol that only the vigilantes and NOL understand.
Grade? Some more lingo to remember, meow. Tao's head is about to explode.
Oh, it's not a difficult thing to understand. Put simply, it tells us what should be done with the criminal. Some must be turned in as soon as they're captured. Some are to be beaten to a certain extent, and for especially dangerous criminals, we are told to end their lives. It can be many different things.
You know, just go end their lives or beat them to a bloody pulp. No big deal.
Ah, yes. The bounty itself and the grade do not reflect one another.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Some criminals have low bounties but still must be killed, while some high bounties must be brought in alive.
I see. I'm sure the NOL has their reasons for such a thing.
I've no doubt they do. This concludes Master Bang's lesson on wanted posters and criminal grades. Did you understand it, Tao?
Meow. The NOL prints the wanted thingy and gets someone else to spread it all around town. All we have to do is check out the poster and then beat the snot out of the bad people. Meow.
I suppose that's technically not wrong. Excellent work. If you wish to be a great vigilante, you must work diligently.
Meow. I get it, Scruffy Man.
How does a vigilante get their cash?
Actually, I have a question if you don't mind.
Anything you wish, Miss Litchi.
So, after defeating the offender or taking them into custody, do you take them directly to the NOL?
Of course, that is an option. However, in many cases, the offender will attempt to escape. All a vigilante must do once they have captured a criminal is notify the NOL.
And how would you prove that?
Once you become a vigilante, the NOL teaches you a binding Ars Magus. Once you've captured a criminal, you immediately use the Ars Magus to bind them. You then go to the vigilante window at the nearest NOL branch and tell them your Ars Magus code. Once it's been confirmed that the criminal has been bound, that's the end of your participation. You normally will receive your reward then.
I, Bang Shishigami, rarely go to the NOL itself. It is difficult for a civilian from Ronin Gai to visit such a place. Once I have bound a criminal, I will usually report to the nearest hierarchical public office. This does incur a service charge, however.
I see.
Oh, and this Ars Magus is special, so it can't be used for any other purpose. There are some vigilantes who are incapable of using Ars Magus. So like Mr. Bang mentioned, you have to find an alternate way to bind them, and then take them to the hierarchical public office. Another thing you can do is bring an official to where you bound the criminal, although there is a service charge for that particular service. One other thing you can do is go through the guild.
Guild? There's actually a guild for vigilantes?
It's more like a network for vigilantes. It's not surprising that civilians wouldn't know about it.
A network amongst the vigilante? Isn't that like an organization?
I guess it could be seen as such. It's really pretty small, so it's not really a threat to the NOL. We just usually share general information or intel on a particular bounty. Sometimes we'll act as agents for those who, for whatever reason, can't collect their rewards themselves. I heard that there's a charge for that, though.
I see. I really learned a great deal about vigilantes today. Thank you very much, Carl. Mr. Bang?
Oh, no need to thank either of us.
Indeed, Bang Shishigami is a man of the people. Why, I have often felt that were I not a ninja, I would have made an excellent teacher. If you ever need further education, please do not hesitate to ask.
So, that means we can review at any time then. Tao?
Let's study. Tao's on top of it, meow.
And so it ends.
Tao, tell the truth. You fell asleep while they were talking, didn't you?
No, I didn't, meow. Tao remembers everything.
Are you sure about that? If you don't study, then I won't give you any nice warm meat buns.
Meow! Tao is telling the truth. Why won't Booby Lady believe me?
Well, let's find out. How about a little quiz to test what you remember?
Bring it on!
You can do it, Tao. Believe in me who believes in you.
There's so many little references everywhere.
Now here's the question. What's the name of the institution where Mr. Bang goes to turn in criminals after he's captured them?
1. I thought it was the Hierarchical Public Office, meow. 2. Dream Club. 3. Something called the Guild, meow. 4. NOL, meow. It's kind of a trick question though, isn't it? I mean, you turn them in directly to the NOL, right?
Tao?
What? Are they talking about the guild? I mean, technically, he said institution, so I thought they just meant the organization.
Meow?
I'm sorry, Miss Kitty, but
I guess there's no treat for you today.
Meow! Tao's heart feels like it's been ripped to shreds!
No! No matter how many times you may fail, there is always a next time. Never give up, Tao. Never surrender.
Meow! The delicious smell of Booby Lady's meat buns will always bring me back, even from the cold, dark embrace of death itself! I will have my revenge!
That's the spirit, Tao. Let's do better next time.
What? Okay, I guess I have to do that again. Can I just skip straight to the question, though? Or was it because the question is, like, specifically Bang? Because I know Bang says he doesn't like going to the main office and would rather go to, like, a different branch. Okay, let's try again. Can I just, like, is there a hold button to skip this stuff? Okay, let's give it a shot. Okay, so I think the guild is like where they get the posters, because the guild is run by vigilantes, so I think they're actually talking about the public office. Yay!
that's right. It's the Hierarchical Public Office. That was great.
I'm impressed, Tao. I'm so sorry I doubted you.
Truly, you are deserving of Lord Bang's faith in you.
Enough with all that! Just hand over the goods to Tao!
Wait just one moment. Do not let this early success go to your head.
What's that, Scruffy Man?
You see, Carl's question was only a warm-up. Here is your true question.
What? Talk about annoying, meow! And you wonder why everyone calls you Scruffy Man?
Unsmirched by my honor all you wish, but I will not back down.
He's right, Tao. Remember that he is doing this for you.
Thank you, Miss Litchi. You are a true goddess.
Okay, fine. Someone told me that a true man never turns down a challenge.
Are you actually a man?
Don't sweat the small stuff. Make with the question asking already.
Very well. You remember, of course, that there are 4 agreements a vigilante must, agree to?
Yes, I definitely sort of remember.
Oh dear. Why am I worried? You are my disciple, are you not? I have no doubt you shall pass with flying colors. Let us begin. The first 3 agreements are: obey the order of the NOL, share information with the NOL, and a vigilante may not harm a civilian or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. So, what's the 4th one?
1. If you let a criminal run away, you pay a fine, meow. 2. You can't fight amongst vigilantes, meow. 3. You can't go to places that aren't authorized, meow. 4. You can't form an organization or among the vigilantes, meow. No organized labor.
You've learned so much. I'm so proud.
This was a piece of cake!
That was amazing, Miss Kitty. I'm impressed that you remembered everything after hearing it just once. Even my sister is as pleased as Punch.
Amazing!
Spectacular! Outrageous!
Such a powerful outpouring of emotions. Surely Miss Litchi is... What? Where has Miss Litchi gone?
Meow?
Wow!
Oh, a huge meat bun that's as big as Booby Lady's boobies!
What are you... Really?
Boss, your nose is bleeding.
There's no need for that. Mr. Bang, please control yourself. I mean, really. Tao, this is your reward for today.
Meow? I can eat this? Really? It's all mine?
Yes, now dig in.
Thank you!
Wait, you're not
Tao, you look
gonna
so
give me
happy.
a piece of artwork or something?
She truly does. Now, if you excuse us, we'll be on our...
Why are you always so reserved and polite? I did make enough for you guys as well. They're just regular sized, but please, help yourselves.
It would be rude for us to say no. Thank you, Miss Litchi.
Sis, you're right, as always. Then I guess I'll have one as well.
Can my men have some as well?
Of course.
Thank you. Oh, the gods have smiled on us today.
Indeed, a veritable goddess smiles upon us even now. I would expect nothing less from our beloved boss's future wife. But to think such a good heart still lived in this world.
Excuse me there? Subordinate C, what did you just say?
Whoa, this is so yummy! Huh? There's something stuck to it. What the heck is this? Meow!
Ooh, fancy.
Oh, I get another bonus! Yay! Tao is so lucky! I'm gonna keep eating, but see you later! Meow!
That episode was still just as long as the other one. Dang. Episode 3.
Teach me, Miss Litchi.
Miss Litchi.
Teach Me, Miss Litchi, Reloaded. Episode 3. Touch bases with the secrets of the NOL. Friends with NOL. Meow.
Okay, this should do it.
It's afternoon in Orient Town. A young girl has come to Litchi's clinic to have some injuries tended to. The young girl's name is Noelle, a soldier in the NOL.
Wow! Thank you so much.
Really, Lieutenant? You have such a beautiful, firm, lithe body that scarring it would be such a horrible shame.
What? Thank you very much. Although that was an interesting way to put it. So, how much do I owe you?
I really didn't do anything major, so don't worry about it.
What do you mean? You spent so much time tending to all of my injuries.
Oh my! Did I really take so much time?
Yes. You were examining me with great care. You were being exceedingly thorough.
Is that so? Oopsie, I guess I got too into it. It was like a dream come true. Well, whatever the case, there's no need to pay.
But
It appeared that Noelle wasn't going to back down on this. Litchi could see that once Noelle made a decision about something, she rarely could be swayed.
Then let's see. Oh, I know. I don't really want your money, Lieutenant.
But... Hey, where are you taking me?
There's something I want you to do for me instead.
Huh? This is your... Hey, Miss Litchi? What are you doing?
It's all right. I'm a doctor. Don't worry about a thing.
Oh my goodness.
Stop, please! No!
Several minutes passed by.
You're so cruel.
I'm so glad that I decided to keep this. I knew you'd look absolutely stunning in it.
But I'm gonna be traumatized for life by this.
I'm sorry about that. I guess I just got a little too overenthusiastic. But you're so adorably cute, Lieutenant.
Huh? Me? Cute? No way!
Nonsense. Of course you are. You're so pretty, in fact, that I want to put you on display at my clinic.
Excuse me?
Oh, hello. Is there something wrong?
There was something I wanted to ask. Oh my goodness, Lieutenant Vermilion!
Captain Hazama!
Oh, do you two know each other?
Yes. Well, sort of, yes. Anyway, interesting. Very interesting, Lieutenant.
What?
So you're interested in, this sort of thing, in addition to poetry. My research should have turned this up. Am I losing my touch? Heaven forbid.
No, that's not it at all! Miss Litchi made me wear this! And how did you know I liked poetry?
Yeah, Hazuma's so chunky here. I think it's because for some reason, the art style here, like a lot of characters have like stick legs. Like with Bang, they kind of just show the outline of his pants and then they have little stick things, but for Hazuma, it's like they wanted to put his pants in, so they had to draw his bottom half a little differently. His head's also squished more compared to Noelle's.
Well, I work for the intelligence department.
That explains... Wait a second! What gives you the right to snoop into other people's private lives?
Yeah, he's gotta put all that evil somewhere.
Those are some very impressive frills.
Please stop checking me out.
Isn't that dress just perfect for her? Now, you said you had a question for me?
Yes. I suppose it can wait. Today's not good. Another time.
Oh, is that so?
I told you there's nothing wrong with me!
Stop being like that and get your rear inside! If it gets infected, you might die! Or turn into a zombie! Meow!
Oh?
Since you don't want me to lick it clean, then just shut up and let Booby Lady take a look at you!
Hey, stop pulling on me! I don't have the time to see ya!
Hey, Booby Lady!
Oh, hi, Tao. And Major Jin Kisaragi?
Wow, there's a lot of people here today, meow!
Yeah, Jin's head is also pretty big. Like, I feel like part of it's also because, like, the characters they drew in the first game, and then when they had the designs for the second game, they had to adapt them into this, and some characters' designs were a bit harder. Like, even the lines on Hazuma's body seem of a different thickness than the others.
Major?
Just what in the hell are all of you doing here?
I sort of got hurt and...
Huh?
And what's the matter with you, Captain Hazuma? You seem uncharacteristically quiet. Ugh, cat!
Hey, what's the matter with Tao? Meow, meow, meow!
Hey, just keep your distance, all right?
Meow, meow, meow.
Oh, for goodness sake. Goodbye, Lieutenant. I'll see you later.
What's wrong with you, Captain Hazama?
I just really don't like cats. Stay away from me, all right? Shoo! Shoo!
Oh, is that so? Tao, please leave him alone.
Okay, meow.
Like I asked earlier, what in the hell are all of you doing here? Forget I asked. I'm leaving now.
Oh yeah, booby lady. Now please do that voodoo that you do so well.
Hey! Let go of me! I said that I was leaving! There I was, just minding my own business and getting ready to partake of a freshly steamed meat bun, when out of the blue this stupid cat attacked me!
You tried to steal someone's food again? Bad Tao!
I'm sorry, meow. I was just drawn to the smell of food.
Major Kisaragi? Spending money on a meat bun?
Major Kisaragi. Spending money on a meat bun?
Hey, what's wrong with you people? What's so shocking about me buying meat buns?
I'd love to see that.
I'd like to take a picture of it and put it up on the office bulletin board.
Anyway, I felt bad about attacking him, so I brought him here so that you could heal him, booby lady.
I told her repeatedly that she didn't have to.
No, Tao is right. No matter how small a scratch may be, we must take care of it. It wouldn't be good if it gets infected. Now, let me see it.
All right. Just hurry it up, woman.
Hurry it up, I'm done.
Huh. I hope you don't expect me to thank you.
I wasn't planning on asking you to. This is my job, after all. Oh, yes. It is time for Tao to study.
Can I go home now?
Hey, we're all going to study, meow.
Study? A cat study?
Tao is studying diligently to become the ultimate vigilante.
That's right. Although she does seem to forget more than she learns. So, what should we study today?
Something. O-L, meow.
You want to learn more about the NOL?
Ha! That's it, meow! The NOL!
Oh, I see. How about I help in return for the treatment you gave me?
Oh, would you? That would be so great. However, just by wearing that dress, you've already paid me back 100-fold.
This is rather interesting. Would you, mind if I sit in for a bit?
That seems very unlike you. I thought you didn't particularly care for cats.
Oh, I certainly don't. This is just, how to put it, for future reference. You're going to stick around too, aren't you, Major?
Why should I?
Why, because you're a veritable icon of the librarium. The hero of Ikaruga.
Yeah, but I don't see why that means I have to stick around here.
Oh, come on now. Don't be like that.
Fine, great. Just don't take all day.
Good. That's one more person I can put between me and the cat.
Thank you, everyone, for helping out. But I do have a question. Major Kisaragi, why haven't you said anything about the lieutenant's clothing?
Her clothing? Oh, yeah. What she's wearing is pretty horrifying. Whatever. Like I give a shit about her.
She's a real pervert, isn't she?
What? Did I say something?
Oh, it's nothing. I guess that particular subject is taboo. Okay, Tao, let's get started.
Let's go!
I want to know more about the NOL.
Oh, booby lady, I have a question.
Oh, and what would your question be, Tao?
Since she doesn't have any boobies, is it okay if Tao calls her lacking lady?
What? I must apologize for Tao, Lieutenant.
That's it. It's perfect, meow. And what is a lieutenant? Is that your name, lacking lady?
No! A lieutenant is a rank! And please, please stop calling me Lacking Lady!
Oh, Tao gets it, Meow. Thanks, Lacking Lady.
Oh, that's so mean.
So, what exactly is a rank? Meow.
Why don't you tell her yourself, Lieutenant?
Me again?
Again?
No, nothing. I just had a case of deja vu. Okay, I'll try to explain. It's a little complicated, so I'll try to keep it as simple as I can. Rank is, simply put, it's organizing people by order of importance. The most important person in the NOL is the Imperator Librarius. The NOL is run according to the edicts issued by the Imperator Librarius.
Ho-ho! So they'd be like the village chief of the Kaka clan.
Village chief. I guess so. The second in command would be the Invictus. There's a lot more to this particular class of ranks, but I think I'll just skip it all for now. Next up would be the general ranks. These would include Brigadier General, Major General, Lieutenant General, and General. Below them would be what are known as field officers. There's Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel, and Major. Major Kisaragi would be in this level.
Meow! That's amazing! You don't look like you'd be important.
Huh. Rank doesn't mean anything to me.
Oh my, aren't we being haughty today?
When you obtain rank in the field officer class, you are given the command of a division within the NOL forces. For example, Major Kisaragi is commander of the 4th Division. The level under the field officer class contains the ranks of Captain, First Lieutenant, Lieutenant, and Sergeant Major. Captain Hazama would be Captain. Tsubaki is a First Lieutenant, and my rank is that of Lieutenant. The other ranks available in the NOL are Sergeant First Class, Staff Sergeant, Corporal, Lance Corporal, Private First Class, Private, etc., etc. That pretty much covers all of the ranks, more or less. I'm sure you're probably wondering why there isn't a warrant officer rank when we have generals and sergeant majors. Also, I'm sure you're wondering what each rank's job is. Those people are... if I try to explain everything right now, it'll make your brain spin in your skull. If you're still interested, I'll explain it all later.
Tao definitely agrees with you. Everything you just said just flowed through Tao's ears like a river, leaving nothing of importance behind. Meow!
In other words, you got none of it.
Nah, you're just thinking too much.
Oh, good. I guess I was just overanalyzing what you said.
Why does the army have branches, Meow?
There's more to the NOL than you're letting on. It's making Tao more than a little suspicious. Meow! Stop hiding things and just spill the beans already!
Perhaps I should explain this part then.
Mr. Hazama, are you sure?
Lieutenant, you've got to be strong. There comes a time in every man's or woman's life where they have to make shit up to cover their ass. Now, where should I start? Let's see here. How about I tell you about the branches of the army?
Branches? Of the army?
That's right! The armed forces in the employ of the Novus Orbis Librarium are myriad, but a number of them are tasked specifically with engaging, on a corporeal level, forces which threaten the interests and holdings of the librarium.
Armed horses, corporal evil, hand holdings. Oh, I see.
Yes, armed forces, corporeal level, and holdings. That's right.
I'm willing to bet she's completely clueless.
Well, let's start by explaining the Ars Magus units, shall we? Of course. Now, all of these are ground troops, but they all use Ars Magus and Ars Armagus. The general term for them is Ars Magi. The first group wears armor that's been enhanced with a special protective Ars. They focus on hand-to-hand combat and are called the Martial Infantry. Next up are soldiers who specialize in close-range Ars Armagus. We usually just call them Heavy Infantry. Finally, we have soldiers who specialize in long-range Ars Magus. Technically, their full name is the Novus Orbis Librarium Special Infantry, or NOLSI, but that's a mouthful. And saying Nolsey sounds silly, so we usually just call them the Special Infantry. In summation, you can pretty much assume anyone from the Librarium who's wearing a blue uniform is from the Ars Magi.
Oh, I've seen the men in blue. Meow! I've always wondered why they all dress like that.
Tao, a couple of those men in blue are right here in front of you now.
Holy moly, you're right! One of the blue men is right here!
That's correct. Major Kisaragi and Lieutenant Vermilion are in the Ars Magi. The color theme is Jolting Sapphire.
Well, Lacking Lady doesn't have enough of anything to make it jolt. What the?
Let's move on. Next up is the Librarium's military force in the air. We usually just call them the Air Corps, and their job is maintaining and flying small Ars Magus-powered aircraft called she-balves. The Air Corps also guard the arrival and departure facilities for civilian Ars Magus-powered flying vessels. Ah, yes, the Air Corps' color is a beautiful green, which represents the triumphal return of the Kingfisher. It's a metaphor.
Meow! They can really fly?
Indeed they can, especially well when they're flying the she-balves too. It's amazing. We only have a few though, so you'd be lucky to see one.
Oh, Tao wants to learn how to fly too! I'm so over that Ars Maggie thingy!
Well, shall I continue? Next, of course, is the Intelligence Department, which I belong to. We're not so great in a fight, but we're really good at gathering information. Our theme color is Corrosive Jet Black. It's pretty black, isn't it?
But your hair is green, meow!
Anyway, that's pretty much all of the big important departments. The Relief Corps and the Imperator's bodyguards round out the rest of them. Oh, right, almost forgot about the Wings of Justice. They're not really a part of the official army, they're more kind of like, well, let me put it this way. The chief responsibility of the Wings of Justice is to track down and punish anyone who disobeys the NOL. Technically, the Librarium calls them judges, and I guess they pretty much are. But they're generally fair. They're, well, I guess you could kind of say they're like elite policemen. Their, judgment is based on very strict standards set by the Imperator, though, and they'll go after members of the Librarium just the same as civilians. They're, not well liked. And of course, the color of the Wings of Judgment is incorruptible white. To be honest, though, Major Kisaragi here probably knows the inner workings of the Wings of Judgment much more intimately than I do.
Really? Come on, teach me about them, creepy guy!
Huh?
What in the hell did you just call me? Where do you get off calling me anything, lowly peasant scum?
I'm afraid I must agree with him, Tao. It isn't polite to call someone that, even if it happens to be God's own truth.
Litchi.
You know, the way you put that really bugs the hell out of me. But she's right. Don't ever call me that again.
But the last time Tao saw you, you were all like, brother. You were all over good guy like a cheap suit. Meow. To be honest, Tao was freaked out by the whole thing.
Damn you. It seems that some punishment is in order now.
Meow! Mew, 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 mew. That was really, really cold. That was so mean. Bad Iceman.
It wasn't anything you didn't deserve.
Meow.
I must apologize for Tao's rudeness. But at least she's referring to you as the Iceman as opposed to that other thing. Why don't we all just let it go and move on?
Please, Major.
Yes, please.
What's a squadron, Meow?
So, me about the Flight of the Jujubes.
It's actually the Wings of Justice. But before I get into that, it's probably better if I explain what divisions and squadrons are.
Meow, meow, that's a good idea. You guys brought that up a couple of times earlier.
Soldiers in the NOL Armed Forces are divided into one of several different groups. The official term for any one of these groups is Ars Magus Legion of the Novus Orbis Librarian, but no one says that because it's idiotic. They're usually called squads or divisions, generally, depending on the size. Lieutenant Vermilion and myself belong to the 4th Division.
4th? Does that mean there's a 1st, 2nd, and so on?
That's right. In addition to the numbered divisions and squadrons, there are also ones that are given actual names. For example, the Praetorian Guard. Members of the Praetorian Guard are chosen from the elite of other divisions. However, they normally don't move around in a body.
Meow! If they're so strong, why not?
Because the Praetorian Guard is almost a class or title itself. Normally, members of the Guard go about their assigned duties within their division. They only come together as a unit when summoned by the Imperator Librarius.
Oh, I see Meow! I think I got it!
Good. Now to explain the Wings of Justice. Their official designation is Zero Squadron, Wings of Justice. On the surface, they're very similar to the Praetorian Guard, but in reality, they are completely different. As Captain Hazama said earlier, their function is to punish those that rebel against the NOL. The Wings of Justice normally wear a special robe and mask and move around in groups. By looking at them, it is almost impossible to determine how old any one member is, or even which gender they are. Part of their fearsome reputation comes from that uncertainty.
Which is why it's so funny every time Tsubaki meets up with someone and she's wearing her mask and her robe and she's like, "You don't recognize me?" And it's like, Tsubaki, take off your mask.
May I ask something, Major?
What?
You've mentioned the Imperator Librarius a few times, but where exactly do they fit in with all of this?
That information is highly classified, and therefore not to be shared with any civilians. And even within the NOL, only a small fraction of people know about the current whereabouts of the Imperator Librarius.
Speaking of which, I have no idea.
I see. One more question, if I may. Does the Imperator Librarius give commands to each of the NOL branches?
Located in the first hierarchical city is the main headquarters of the NOL. Normally, they are the ones who issue commands to each of the other branches within the other hierarchical cities. Specific commands are normally issued by someone within each branch. However, in rare instances, the Imperator Librarius will issue an official imperial decree.
I see.
Hey, so the impersonator Lieber something or other is kinda important?
Important? They are the most influential person in the NOL. It is expressly forbidden to go against the wishes of the Imperator Librarius.
So, you've met, right? What kind of person is this imposter Librarius?
Who knows?
What?
The Imperator Librarius rarely appears before others without reason. Only a small handful of people know what the Imperator Librarius looks like.
Meow, meow! Tao would never take orders from someone she's never even seen!
I suppose you could say that the fact that we never see them could be important.
Meow?
It's a lot like your face.
And in conclusion,
We've really learned a lot today, didn't we, Tao?
Yeah, and it's all thanks to the NOL people. Meow!
Now I owe you nothing.
That was actually rather fun. Now my suit smells like cat, though. I'm gonna have to throw this one away. Shoot.
Was I informative enough?
Yes, of course you were. Thank you so much.
yeah, maybe Tao is the Imperator.
So, do you remember everything we taught you today?
I also was thinking, because in a lot of the BlazBlue prequel manga and novels, there's other Kaka village members we haven't seen besides Tao Kaka and Tora Kaka. Like, there's a lot of them. And they all have, like, something Kaka as their name, and they all have, like, variations on Tao's design course, I've only kind of seen them in a couple still images. I haven't actually read a lot of these prequel mangas and books.
Huh? Of course!
Really? I rather doubt a creature as underdeveloped as a cat could really remember all that.
Meow! What's with the hostility?
If you're that curious about it, then why don't you test her?
That's a good idea. Tao, you can do it, right?
Do your worst, meow!
All right then, here's your question. What is the theme color for Ars Magi? You know, the part of the army that Major Kisaragi and Lieutenant Vermilion belong to?
Yeah, most of the prequels are not officially translated. 1. The Jolting Sapphire, meow. 2. I'm pretty sure it was Sapphire Rose, meow. 3. It's Blue Velvet, meow. 4. It's gotta be Blue Harvest, meow.
Whoa, that's right. Jolting Sapphire is the correct answer.
Didn't think you'd get that right. I better remember that.
Amazing! It took me 2 weeks to get everything straight.
That's because you're lacking in brains as well.
It's because you're a bird brain, meow!
Maybe if you didn't watch television all the time, you'd have something resembling intelligence.
Everyone just piling on poor Noelle.
I was just trying to compliment her. Why are you all being so mean?
Now. But really, Tao, it seems like your past studies have been doing you good.
You think so?
Yes, of course. And I think you deserve some kind of treat for all of your hard work. So here you go, a meat bun.
Looks so yummy! And it's really warm, meow!
I wonder where she pulled that out from.
Oh, and I made enough for everyone.
Thanks, but no thanks. Are we done here? I'm going home.
I think I'll have to pass. Things to do, you know. I'll see you later.
Aw, they all left. What will I do with all these leftovers?
Maybe I'll take one. Maybe?
Oh, please do. Ah, yours is over there, so let me get it for you.
Darn. I wanted to see where she hid the last one. I almost forgot. About this.
What is it, meow?
I picked this up on my way here. Maybe you want it?
Why do you have that?
Oh! This is the now traditional treat, part 2! Thank you, meow!
Lieutenant, it's ready. Tao, you come over too.
Okay.
I've learned so much today. I gotta say, today was a good day. Meow! See ya!
Maybe everyone has a thing for Ragna. Jin just has the misfortune of being his brother.
Teach me,
Miss Litchi.
Miss Litchi.
Teach me, Miss Litchi. Reloaded. Episode 4. A family's reputation can be tough, meow. Is a childhood friend a status, meow?
Oh, I wonder who it could be.
Hey! Open up!
Who is it?
It's Tao!
Tao, is it really you?
It really is Tao!
Is it really, really you, Tao?
It really, really is Tao! Meow!
Well, if it's really, really Tao, then this question should be easy for you to answer. So are you ready?
Quiz right off the bat.
Bring it on! Meow!
What does 3 plus 5 equal?
4?
It really is you, Tao. Welcome.
It is you, Tao.
Booby lady! You're as fluffy and bouncy as ever!
Tao, unless they share your mammocentric view of the world, I doubt people will understand what you're going on about.
Well, you can have too much of a good thing. Meow!
Anyway, you're here early today.
I was really hungry, so I came early. So give me a meat bun right meow!
I'll give you one after you finish studying. Oh? Now who could that be?
Hey, open up! Hurry!
Okay. Who is it?
Who is it? A patient!
A patient? Could it really be true?
What the? Yes, I'm really a patient!
If that's so, you must first answer a question for me.
For the love of God! Screw your question, just let me in!
A silver anniversary is for 25 years of marriage. A golden anniversary is for 50 years of marriage. What is the ceremony for 80 years?
For 80 years? Platinum anniversary?
Oh, so sorry, but thanks for playing.
Hey! Just open the damn door! What in the hell is up with this place?
It's Booby Ladies Clinic. Meow!
You were literally just here, Jin. Also, what is an 80-year anniversary called then?
This is an emergency! Tsubaki is...
I'm fine, Jin. I just...
What's wrong? What is it, Tsubaki?
Yeah, I love Tsubaki's gigantic hat.
I want to know what the answer to that question was.
Say what?
Please, Miss Litchi, tell me the answer. I don't want to die wondering.
Okay, if you insist. Now please listen carefully. A silver anniversary is for 25 years of marriage. A golden anniversary is for 50 years of marriage. What is the ceremony for 80 years?
Oh, come on! Even Tao knows this one! It'd be a funeral!
Well,
I see. Faint.
Hey! Tsubaki!
Whoa! She's pretty hot, isn't she? It's hard to believe she's dead. I guess it's true. Only the good die young. Meow!
I'm not dead.
Major Kisaragi, you've been a frequent visitor as of late.
It's coincidence. Tsubaki fell ill, so I just brought her here.
Is something wrong, Meow?
I think I've been using the Izayoi more than I should, and I can't see very well.
There's nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid.
That's what I thought.
Changing the subject, you're not in uniform today.
These are contemporary clothes.
but she is in uniform.
Like that matters, Meow! I'm hungry! Let's get to studying so I can get my paws on Booby Lady's meat buns!
Maybe, I guess she means school uniform.
Wow, so you've kept up on your studies. Good girl. What's the subject today?
I haven't really decided on a topic. Well, since you two are here, why don't you tell us all about the noble families?
Noble families?
Yes. I've heard that the origins of the noble families are quite amazing.
Well, my family is one of the duodecim, who are distinguished even among the other noble families.
Huh, like it matters. If Tsubaki is okay, there's no point in me hanging around. I'm going home.
Oh, come on, don't be like that.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that Ragna is going to drop by today.
What? What did you say? My brother is?
That's right, Meow! It's just a feeling, so don't get your hopes up.
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to stick around for a while. So, hurry up and get started.
I hate it when he gets like this.
How did the duodecim come to be, Meow?
All right. I can tell you about the duodecim and a little bit about my background. I have a feeling I've said this before. No, it must just be my imagination. The families of the duodecim are descendants of the 12 heroes who first mastered the art of using Ars Magus during the Dark War. They played an active role in a number of significant battles. I've been told that after the war, they helped to establish the librarium.
I like how her little wings flap.
In other words, they're part of the elite, Meow!
I suppose you could say that. At any rate, the name of Duodecim was given to them after the war. Kind of like the 6 heroes, actually. Because they dedicate themselves fully to the Librarium and the Imperator Librarius, they're sometimes called the 12 Spears of the Imperator.
Hey, Key, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for dropping by today.
I see, I see. So, what do they do?
They do a lot of different things. Well, I guess their primary function would be to supply the Librarium with talented and powerful personnel, and devote their lives to serving the Imperator Librarius. And when we come of age, we join the army.
Meow! You mean they just don't coast along in life, sheltered by the NOL?
No! I told you that! The Duodecim fight for the Librarium!
But there's only 12 of them! I don't think they'd last too long in a war!
Well, although they're called families, the members of the Duodecim aren't always related by blood. There are actually quite a few people who count themselves as one of us. I think probably a lot more than you're imagining.
Huh? So you're part of a family, but not really family?
Well, some families do put a lot of emphasis on blood relations, but the rules are different for each family, so the exact organization really varies quite a bit. Besides, nearly everyone from the Duodecim excels at Ars Magus, as well as more traditional combat, so they don't die very easily. In fact, a lot of them fought in the Ikaruga Civil War, but our records show that most of them came back alive.
Meow! Tao is seriously impressed! You guys are that strong! Does that mean Iceman and Eye-Woman are strong too?
Eye-Woman?
So spill it! You're strong, right? Right? Right?
Of course Jin is strong. I mean, he's a major, and he's been given command of the 4th Division even though he's so young, and he... I train hard too, of course. I don't want to embarrass my family.
Tsubaki, enough with the false modesty. You have every right to be proud of your abilities. You should always keep your head held high.
Jin, you...
Iceman is right, meow! Be sure to thrust your boobies out front, bouncy bouncy!
Tao, please.
Hey! That's not what he meant! Leave me alone!
Tao, knock that off!
Meow, meow! Tao's in big trouble!
Of course.
Yes! That was bad!
Anyway, so, the children born into one of the Duodecim all enter the military academy, correct?
Yes, we do. The academy will accept children at a pretty young age, so a lot of us join right out of junior high or high school.
Are there any special classes you're required to take?
In some cases, yes. Members of the Duodecim have special privileges, but they have special obligations too.
I understand the special privileges part, but you have obligations as well?
Yes. I suppose I should start with the privileges. One of them is the special classes I mentioned earlier. If you ask to be put in one of them, you'll be given precedence over other students. The same goes for the student council. If you announce you're running, you'll be given precedence over other students.
Favoritism.
Once you graduate, you're guaranteed at least first lieutenant rank. There are other small benefits, but those are the 3 major privileges. Of course, there are the obligations, too. To begin with, any student who is a member of the Duodecim is expected to work hard and be a role model for other students. If you have particularly bad behavior or grades, then your status as one of the Duodecim can be revoked.
What? Are they really that strict with you?
Yes. The families of the Duodecim are different from a normal family. They have the trust of the Librarium, but also a great responsibility to it. Anything that could harm the family name is expressly forbidden.
I see. It seems that being one of the Duodecim is really tough.
Yes, it can be difficult at times, but I take great pride in my family. We have other small obligations, such as taking important positions in school events and volunteering in the community. There are also meetings between the Duodecim that we have to attend. Quite a few small things, really.
That was really interesting. I learned a lot, thank you.
Oh no, don't worry about it. A lot of people aren't very fond of the noble families, so I'm glad to get a chance to explain how it works. Hopefully I can change a few people's misconceptions.
Well, it's obvious that Lady is a nice person, meow. But Tao is pretty sure that there are some very not nice people who are nobles.
Well, I suppose there are some. But deep down, they're good people. Like Jin.
Right, sure.
Right, Jin is clearly the exemplar.
Tao, behave! Everything was going so well, so don't spoil it now.
What kind of people are these duodecim anyway?
Now Tao knows all about the duodecim. They're the elite of the NOL.
I guess that's true.
But what kind of people are they? Meow, Iceman, quit your slacking and tell me.
What do you mean, stop slacking? Why the hell should a person like me explain to a lowlife like you about the duodecim?
But Lady said that you were actually a nice person, Iceman. That means you have to be nice, meow.
Damn you. Why do you always remember the pointless stuff?
Don't be like that, Jin. It wouldn't hurt to tell her a little.
Fine, fine. It's not like I have anything else to do. The duodecim is comprised of 12 families. In order, they are the Mutsuki family, Kisaragi family, Yayoi family, Usuki family, Satsuki family, Minazuki family, Fuzuki family, Hazuki family, Nagatsuki family, Kanazuki family, Shimotsuki family, and the Gokuzuki family.
Meow? What's with all the Tukis and Zukis?
Well, most of their names are derived from the Japanese word for moon. I'm of the Kisaragi lineage, while Tsubaki is from the Yayoi lineage.
Hey! So, what kind of families are they?
Among the families of the duodecim, the Kisaragi and the Yayoi are somewhat unique. So before I talk about them, let me go over the other families first. Although we refer to ourselves as family or clan, like Tsubaki said earlier, not everyone with a family is directly related.
Well, they're like the mafia.
In general, each family is made up of elites and true nobles. As a result, the strengths and types of Ars Magus differ between families. In the case of the Kisaragi family, status or bloodline means nothing. The only thing that matters is one's capabilities. The Kisaragi family gather children with obvious potential from all over the world. For those who seem worthy, they are given combat training as well as an advanced education. Your origins play no part in their decision. Whether you're a noble or an orphan, all that matters is what you can do. We are a family in name only. In reality, it's more like a hierarchical society. Because of how the Kisaragi family conducts itself, the members of the family tend to produce a higher number of people with advanced leadership and combat skills.
So they're the elite of the elite?
Perhaps. The other family that stands out is the Yayoi family. I think it'd be better if Tsubaki explains this.
Okay, Jin. The Yayoi family is different from the other duodecim. We take our bloodline very seriously. Because of that, we have very strong family bonds, and our abilities are stable and reliable. But focusing so much on lineage has led to other problems. Strict rules about partnering have meant that our numbers get smaller with every generation. The other families are relatively stable, but some think ours is in danger of collapse. The librarian has told us to change our rules on a number of occasions, but my father won't listen to them.
Father?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot to tell you. My father is head of the Yayoi family.
Oh, I get it! So why do you and Iceman hang out together if you're from different families and stuff? Are you making kittens?
Tao!
Huh? Oh, no. Jin and I have been friends since we were kids. We were really close when we were younger. I think more of him like a brother.
So that's how it is, huh? So all of the duodecim are buddy-buddy?
No, it's the opposite. Kisaragi are almost regarded as mercenaries.
and the Yayois are ultra-conservative and are too focused on the purity of their bloodline. Both families are considered heretical, and so the other families don't think too highly of us. On an unrelated note, the Kisaragi and Yayoi families have always been on good terms.
That's kind of a shame. It'd be so much better if everyone were friends. Meow.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Hey! So, compared to the duodecim, the, Imperator Librarius? Yeah, that's it. Is the Imperator more powerful than the duodecim?
Wow, she actually said Imperator Librarius properly for once.
Yes. However, the head of each family gather together, and most decisions are made during those meetings.
Everything that each family decides is reported to the Imperator by the head of the family. In fact, the heads of the families are the only people who can meet the Imperator.
Whoa! So the mystery of the Imperator thickens. Meow!
Let's ending.
So what do you think of the duodecim, Tal? Do you understand the basic concept?
Oh yeah! I got this stuff down! It's in the bag! I got it so down that I could become one of the duodecim! Or at least fake it convincingly. Meow.
Oh, talk about confidence. Now let's see you back it up, Tao. Tsubaki, if it's all right, could you quiz Tao so she can review what she has learned today?
Huh? Sure. Okay. What rank are you guaranteed to get if you graduate from the academy as one of the duodecim?
1. Major. 2. Lieutenant. 3. Robot Private. 4. First Lieutenant.
Yes! First Lieutenant is correct!
Wow, Tao, you really remembered! I'm so proud of you.
Huh. Big deal.
Like there was any doubt. Meow.
And of course, this means you get a treat. Here's a nice hot meat bun.
It looks so yummy. Oh.
I see. So she hides them in her cleavage. I'll have to try that.
I made enough for everyone.
No thanks. Since my dear brother obviously isn't going to show up, I'm leaving.
Wait! Jin!
Oh dear, they left. What should I do with all of these leftovers?
Just leave them to Tao.
Wait, they didn't give me artwork. Okay, so this one should be the last one.
Teach me, Miss Litchi.
Yeah, I guess Tao tricked Jin into sticking around. Teach me, Miss Litchi. Reloaded. Episode 5. Ars Magus? Nox Nictoris? What the? Happy New Year's, meow.
Ah, the beginning of a new year, and the free time that comes with it. There are no chores to do, no patients to see.
How are they hanging, booby lady? Tao has come to play.
Tao, you're here to study, not play.
Oh yeah, that's right. Tao is here to study.
Well, it's kind of early for this sort of thing, but let's get...
Yay!
Oh!
Why are we?
Is this...
Oh, please, not these people again.
We've been here before. It's a hospital. A hospital!
Ah, the smell of medicine.
Here again? This location has a startlingly high random phenomenon rate.
It is likely unstable, milady.
Could you not ignore the owner of the building and carry on with your conversation as if she wasn't here?
Milady, it is no small task to teleport across temporal boundaries.
That is something of an understatement. I have examined the documents my father left me at length, and I have a firm grasp of the theory. Putting said theory into practice, however, is proving difficult. Oh, have you been here long? I'm afraid you must have escaped my notice.
Yes, I was here the entire time. Why must you pop in here out of the blue all of the time?
Hey Aru, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Good to see you.
If you've been here as long as you claim, surely you heard our conversation? I'm experimenting with a technique of localized temporal displacement. This particular experiment has not gone as planned. Nothing more.
Yeah, right. So what is localized temporal displacement?
Put simply, madam, it is the process of warping time.
Time warp?
Yup. We've been traveling all across time so we can spy on the princess's boyfriend. Ah!
Learn when to keep your mouth shut, Guy, or I fear you shall lose it.
That hurts, princess.
Little Guy.
You've often teleported me, milady. Why not attempt the same with him?
An excellent suggestion, Valkenhayn. However, there are more pressing matters. I am rather parched. I require tea.
But of course, milady. However, if memory serves me, I do not believe the lady of this house is in the habit of drinking tea.
I had a feeling you were going to show up, so I took the liberty of procuring some black tea.
Is that so? How intelligent of you. Hurry along, Valkenhayn. I haven't all day.
Of course, milady. If you will excuse me. Excuse me, madam, but I have been unable to locate the tea you mentioned.
Yeah, I would never do that to Kirby. Rachel needs to learn from my example.
Didn't you bother to check the fridge? I made some nice iced tea, perfect for lazy afternoons.
Oh, hey, Kirby. See? I'm always very nice to you, right? Not like Rachel and Guy.
You mean this?
Why is it censored?
Bingo! It's the perfect combination of price and quality.
Enough! This idiocy is giving me a headache. Very well. Let our experiment commence.
Go, princess!
Come to me, Ragna of the past.
What? What in tarnation just happened? Well, I'll be damned. Valkenhayn and Taukaka.
Meow! Cat person! It's cat person!
Oh, this is unexpected.
Whoa, what the hell's going on? Damn you, Rabbit, what kind of crap are you trying to pull now?
Oh? He's, bigger than I expected, princess. And the cat's with him.
Ugh, what's going on here?
Oh my! That little brat tagged along too.
Damn it, Rachel! How many times do I have to tell you to stop teleport?
Oh, enough of your prattle, Ragna. Tell me, what day is it?
What day? Why the hell do you need to ask me that?
A servant should do as he is told and refrain from asking questions. Now, what day is it?
Let me think. It's the end of the year, December 30th? Maybe?
That's what unemployment will do to you. No sense of time at all.
Hey, no need to throw that around. Even though it's true. But still.
It's already the new year, which means...
It would seem I have summoned Ragna here from some point in the past.
So it would seem.
Ooh, that's still amazing, princess. A real breakthrough. You're really a genius.
Be silent, Guy.
Ouch, princess!
With so many people here, I seem to be getting lost in the crowd.
Hey, hey, hey! Everybody looks like they're having fun! Tao wants in on the action, too!
I ain't real sure I've wrapped my noggin around this one yet, but from what I can tell, it looks like you just pulled off a little bit of forbidden sorcery.
Indeed, I did. It seems the best I could manage was a few days' time, but even so, I confess, I am rather pleased with myself.
And rightly so. That ain't no parlor trick.
Mr. Jubei, what exactly do you mean by that?
You know that sort of teleportation ain't done with Ars Magus, don't you?
I thought that teleportation was just a fairy tale.
Huh. Well, can't rightly blame you for thinking that. Reckon most people would. See, there's only 2, maybe 3 people in the world, Rachel included, who can pull off that sort of thing.
Then I assume you can perform this feat as well?
Me? Not likely. I ain't much for that sort of metaphysical hogwash. I can find my way around in Ars, same as any man, cat. But I can't do magic. No way, no how.
If possible, could you explain exactly what that means?
Hey, you! Where do you get off being so casual with Master Jubei?
Oh, what an adorable little girl! I don't think I've ever seen you before. Hello there.
What? You just noticed me now?
For Tao's sake, do you think you could talk a little more about Ars Magus?
Well, shoot, can't see why not.
Dude, there's way too many people here.
Please tell me how Ars Magus works now.
Tao kind of remembers all of this from before. I mean, the history and how people started using Ars Magus.
You really remember? I'm impressed.
Let's see. A long time ago, there was a war, and Cat Person was a big part of it. Meow. And then, Cat Person's friend taught him how to use magic. And then, the magic went boom and bang and explode and somehow became Ars Magus.
That's actually right, more or less.
I reckon so.
But Tao is still in the dark about the important stuff, like how does Ars Magus work? So, Tao needs to have the person who knows the most about it teach me. And the best way to find that person is by using Tao's caca senses!
Are you from the Spider-Verse, Tao?
Meow!
Me? No.
What? Why not? Everyone else has been super nice and supportive. They've all taught everything with a smile on their face and a song in their heart. Meow.
Did they really?
I've far better things to do with my time than waste it attempting to teach the intricacies of Ars Magus to a mental infant.
Meow? Oh, then that means that this episode is over. Tao's a sad caca. Sad and hungry. Hey, good guy. Want to go get something to eat?
Well, if the rabbit says no, then there's nothing more to be done. Sure, let's go hit up a restaurant or something.
Because that always goes well for you, Ragna.
What? Why must you dine with Ragna? Surely you are capable of feeding yourself.
Tao likes eating with good guy. What's wrong with that?
Ugh. I have changed my mind. I will explain to you the nature of Ars Magus, and in great depth. See that you listen closely.
Oh, Rachel.
Oh, really? You really changed your mind? Well, I guess Tao can stoically endure her hunger in the pursuit of knowledge. Let's hear what you have to say.
Oh, you shall. Do make sure you pay attention.
The princess is really mad.
That poor dear kitten is in for a terrible surprise. God bless her.
Okay, evil bunny lady, teach me!
Ugh. I assume you have already been told that during the Dark War, the Black Beast ceased its assault on humanity for approximately a year. Might I also be so bold as to assume you have retained that knowledge?
Of course, meow!
It was during that year of silence that Nine, now known as a great witch, passed her magic on to mankind.
9, huh? So, I guess her and Lacking Lady share something in common. That's so sad. Meow.
Oh, Tao, if only you knew.
Magic could not be used in its basest form, however. Mankind was simply not capable of handling or manipulating it. Therefore, in order to make use of it, humanity did a great deal of research into the subject and eventually developed what you now know as Ars Magus. By using science to manipulate Seether, one of the legacies left us by the Black Beast, Ars Magus can be turned to myriad ends.
Oh! So now anyone can use Ars Magus as much as they want! Meow!
You are oversimplifying. Utilization of Ars Magus requires the one wishing to do so to recite a special code. I suppose you could liken it to a spell, although Ars is generally the accepted term for an Ars Magus spell. At any rate, one simply chants this code, and the desired Ars Magus effect is achieved. That is, in a nutshell, the Grimoire system.
Ah! Tao is starting to see a pattern form. Tao wants a grim fandango so she can use Ars Magus. But that means I'm going to have to get a bookshelf. Meow! Tao never had a bookshelf before.
Ugh, your idiocy. There are simply no words. You see, a grimoire does not always appear as a book.
Meow? But isn't that grim thingy a book?
That you are familiar with the origins of the word grimoire, and yet apparently incapable of meaningful discourse boggles the mind. Yes, the word grimoire once referred to a sort of book. However, the code one recites for an Ars simply activates an encrypted spell within the grimoire.
Aha! I see now! Wow! This is all new to Tao!
This crude man-child will provide a serviceable example. You see his right hand? It is a grimoire, yet it is not book-shaped. Do you see?
Hey, Rachel, you do know that she's one of the millions of vigilantes out for my blood, right?
Oh-ho! So Good Guy's hand is also one of these grimoire, huh? Wow, that's gotta be tough. Evil Bunny Lady, which one of those is your grimoire? Is it the Black Pig or the Flying Meat Bun?
Pig? Pig? You did not just say that, sweetheart.
Pig is bad enough, but Meat Bun? Have you seen what that monster does to meat buns?
Oh, no, no, no. Me use Ars Magus? Surely you jest. I would never stoop so low. Why the mere thought of it? Ugh.
Hey Yule, good to see you. Thanks for coming to the stream and thanks for the chaos.
Oh, Tao just thought that... Then how did Rabbit Lady warp space and make the wind go pew-pew?
I'm sorry, was I unclear earlier? I have tapped the tremendous power of sorcery, which is greater than magic, which is in turn greater than Ars Magus.
Thanks for the frogs, Aru. Teach me where Ars Magus comes from.
So now I know what Ars Magus is, meow, but I still don't get what its purpose is. So teach me more, meow.
Oh, I tire of this. Valkenheim, you may continue in my stead.
As you wish, milady.
Oh, please teach me more, Butter Person.
My apologies, madam, but I am not butter. I am, in fact, a butler.
Right! Gotcha, Butter Boy!
Butter Boy.
Very well. I shall pick up where Madam Rachel has left off. When Ars Magus was first developed, it became clear to its creators that the power and effectiveness of a grimoire could vary wildly, depending on who wielded it. What caused this discrepancy, they wondered. In time, it became clear that Ars Magus synchronicity was the cause.
Oh, Tao remembers this! It's where Tao would only need 10 pieces of Seether, where others would need to use 20.
Indeed, you are correct, young lady. Since the discovery of the principle, mankind was able to devise more and more efficient Ars Magus.
Oh, look at Rachel.
Unfortunately, even that was not sufficient to defeat the Black Beast. Humanity knew they would need even more power, and developed Ars Armagus, also known simply as Armagus. Armagus is Ars Magus that has but one purpose: to bring death to one's opponents. However, in order to be most effective, it requires a great deal of Seether. Do you know where Seether was most abundant during the war against the Black Beast?
Meow, meow, don't ask me! I don't know!
Tao, I believe that Rachel told you this earlier. You know, where Seether originally flowed from?
Oh, I remember now! The Black Beast! Seether came out of it, so that's where you find a lot of it!
You are correct. Put another way, one needed to be near the Black Beast in order to use Armagus most effectively. Naturally, close-range and melee weapons would be the most effective, and research was therefore focused in that direction. This led to even further advances in the development of Armagus. Those with particularly high synchronicity were given especially advanced weapons. Perhaps the most well-known of them was the sealed weapon Izayoi. At the time, I was told that many of them were produced, but today there are only 1 or 2 that remain.
So that Izayoi is the strongest?
No, although it is quite powerful. The sealed weapons were not the final stage of Armagus evolution, however. That final stage came in the form of the Nox Nictoris, the causality weapons. The Nox Nictoris were conceived as weapons that would be used directly against the Black Beast in melee combat. For that reason, their power was far, far greater than any other Armagus.
Wow! So they used Nox Nictoris and Ars Magus and got even stronger!
They did indeed get stronger. Perhaps it was because of the war, or perhaps it was because they were desperate, but there were risks taken.
Risks?
The great power of Armagus was nothing without cost. Many of the people who wielded them experienced serious side effects. Some lost their senses, and some, well, perhaps it is best to say that some went quite mad. I was told the emotional contamination of the Nox Nictoris was especially great. In the end, very few people had sufficient synchronicity to use the Nox Nictoris. Those people later became known as the 6 Heroes.
Meow! Tao never knew that the history of Ars Magus was so deep!
Indeed it is. Ars Magus can be quite useful, but it was only created at the cost of a great many souls.
Meow! Tao really learned a lot!
Indeed you did. Education is of the utmost importance. You must understand your past if you are to succeed in your future. I am quite sure Master Jubei has very high hopes for you, young lady.
Really, cat person?
This old fart's a little stuffy, but he ain't lying. I got real high hopes for you, kid. That's why I hope you don't forget everything you heard today.
Today's stuff was really complicated, meow. But Tao will try her best not to forget.
Tell me more about Nox Nictoris.
I'm writing all of this down so I don't forget.
Oh, so you're starting to take this seriously? Hey, let me see your notes for a sec. What the hell is this supposed to be? Can you actually read any of this? I mean, you're writing. It looks like you dipped a bunch of worms in paint, made them do an unholy mix of breakdancing and lambada, and watched as they exploded from the strain. But 100 times worse.
Hey, that's not nice, meow. I can read it. Oh yeah, I had a question. Were there a lot of these Nox Nictorises?
I think there were about 8 or 9.
There are 10 of them, you meathead.
Whoa! How the hell did you get here?
Damn, are you an idiot? The number of Nox Nictoris is basic beyond basic. I mean, it's so simple to remember. Yeah, so simple.
What the hell? Where do you get the right to say anything, Fleabag?
Sorry, good guy, but I think I'll be calling you Pinhead Person from now on. That's it! It's perfect! Pinhead! Pinhead!
Who you calling Pinhead?
Oh, damn you both.
Come on, Ragnar, don't let them get to you. They're just kids after all. Why don't you show them you do know what you're talking about?
That's right, Pinhead! Explain away! Explain everything, meow!
Oh, okay! Will, damn it, I will. You already know that the Nox Nictoris weapons are dangerous, so I'll just skip all that crap.
Meow?
Okay, now look at this.
Meow! There really are only 10 of them!
The costs involved with them are pretty damn high. Anyway, I'll just start from the top of the list. Alright, the first one is called the Gigant Take Mikazuchi. It was way too powerful, so they sealed it away. Okay, next.
Wait! That was kind of sloppy and uninformative. Meow!
Shut it, you! Next up is the Mukro Algesco Yukiyanasa. It's basically a sword with a blade made from permafrost or something. You've probably seen Jin waving it around. Whoever can use it is given the ability to take water from the air, crystallize it, and then use it as a weapon. They can also just straight up freeze it. Then they kill their opponent with it. Okay, next.
Master Jubei, his explanations, are they okay?
Well, they ain't wrong, strictly speaking. Can't say I see much wrong with them. Hell, they're probably just about perfect for Taokaka, short and sweet.
You over there! You're being too loud, so just shut your face. Next is the Arcus Diabolus Bulwark. That whacked-out chick Noelle has this one. I guess it attacks anything that it recognizes as a target, and it'll ignore walls, barriers, and all that kind of shit. It's like the optic barrel. Moving on. Next is the Deus Machina Nirvana. That brat Carl has this one. This one really stands out. You guys have seen this one before, right?
Oh, that's Super Not Soft Person!
It's basically a combat doll. The fingers become claws, it emits balls of energy, it plays volleyball, and it also comes with those damn time bombs. Honestly, I want nothing to do with them. So, okay, next. Next on the list is the Mukro Somnio Musashi. My master has this one. Maybe you could explain this to her?
All right. I had to make Musashi just for me. It can cut things you can't usually cut. You'll see what it can do soon enough.
Man, are you still keeping that thing under wraps? You'd better bring that sucker out in the next game, yeah? Alright, next. The Interfectum Malus Okami. That annoying masked freak has this one.
Meow? Masks? Cal can think of 2 of those offhand.
The blade is made from a special metal, and it can nullify Ars Magus. Well, I heard it has yet to actually display its power yet, but anyways, next.
Hey, Twilight Red Mage, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
Next is Geminus Anguium, Ouroboros.
Hey!
Ugh, don't scare me like that! Anyway, what the hell is your problem?
You just totally skipped over Luna's weapon. What's with that? Master Jubei, Ragna the Blood Edge is being a
Ragna, stop acting like a kid.
Yeah, stop acting like a kid!
Call me what you wish. I could give a rat's ass. I'm leaving yours for last. You can explain it later if you want.
Ragna the Blood...
Oh, okay. Don't cry. Don't cry. You, switch with her. Get your ass out here now. I know you can hear me. Get out here now.
What is it? Sorry, I was sleeping.
Now, Jubei, you're just enabling Luna. Come on.
Then cut to the chase. Just explain what your Nox Nictoris does.
Okay, I guess. Our Nox Nictoris is called Arma Rebor Machorin. Its abilities, Incarnation of Matter. If we lose it, we lose our memories. Is that enough for you?
Yep, perfect.
Good. Glad to hear it. Now, if you'll excuse me, have a good night, all.
What? Why did Senna get to have all the fun?
Haha! Sucks to be you!
Ragna the Blood Edge, you son of a bitch! You pay for this!
Yeah, whatever. Now let's move on. Next up is the Geminus Anguium, Ouroboros. The really annoying bastard with the green hair uses this one. The Ouroboros directly affects a person's emotions, so it can be a bitch to deal with. We should take it out as soon as possible, as I know it'll come back to bite us all in the ass. Okay, next. Next is the Phoenix. Something or other.
Something Phoenix? That's a weird name. Meow.
Actually, I don't really know what it's called. Supposedly it was lost during the war. I did hear it was able to destroy other Nox Nictoris, so maybe someone got rid of it before it caused any trouble.
Luna knows what happened to it.
No shit, really?
But Luna isn't going to tell Ragna the Blood Edge a damn thing about it. I'm not telling either, meow!
Hey, what the hell? Come on, tell me too!
No! What she said!
Damn it, you two!
Well, shoot. That ain't all of them. But it don't look like those kids are gonna be quieting down anytime soon.
I'm sorry. Tao's been learning a lot lately, so she's become quite the smart aleck as of late.
Well, she's still a kid, ain't she?
Could you tell me about the remaining Nox Nictoris? I'll pass all of the information on to Tao later.
I gotta level with you, ma'am. There's only one other Nox Nictoris, and that's the Lux Sanctus Murakumo. Thing is, I ain't seen the thing, and as far as I know, neither has anybody else. I don't even rightly know what it does. That being the case, can't see as there's much I can tell you about it. There is something else you should know, though. Far as I know, that's all the Nox Nictoris. But there are some nasty things out there that are what I guess you might call imitations. Weapons that are just about up there with the Nox Nictoris.
Ah, yes, I've heard rumors about them.
Not too shabby, ma'am. Figures, I suppose. Wouldn't have been working for her if you weren't pretty clever. I'm guessing you heard of an artificial causality phenomenon weapon then. The name kinda says it all, but the way I figure it, they're like the Nox Nictoris, except they're made out of steel and electricity, not Ars Magus and Seether. Thing is, they run off atomic energy. Real Nox Nictoris, they run off of something else. They ain't the real thing, sure. But I hear them artificial thingamajigs are just about as dangerous as a genuine Nox Nictoris. The crazy thing is, when one of the Nox Nictoris gets near one of them artificial causality phenomenon weapons, it kinda recognizes it as something similar to itself.
Wow, that's truly amazing. Could that actually happen?
Sure can, ma'am. Hell, my Musashi and I ran into one of them once. Won't be forgetting that anytime soon, let me tell you.
I see. This is quite interesting.
One last thing. I heard through the grapevine that there's something out there people are calling the Idea Engine. And it's pretty much the improved version of that artificial causality phenomenon weapon. Can't say I know much more than the name, though. There are a few other things out there that'll give Nox Nictoris a run for its money, but I reckon you and Tao Kaka will run into him soon enough.
Even Valkenhein's sleeping.
It seems as if Tao has a tough road to travel.
I wouldn't get my britches in a twist over it. I figure she's a good kid, she'll do just fine.
I guess so.
Damn brats running around.
It's all your fault, Ragna the Blood Edge! Meow! That was fun!
Oh, welcome back, everyone.
If you kids were running around outside, make sure you wash your hands now, you hear?
Okay, meow! Okay, Master Jubei!
Oh, okay.
The merciful conclusion.
Hey, everybody. I just want to thank you for your help today.
Thanks, meow!
Indeed, it is a mark of class to give credit where credit is due.
Rabbit, you didn't do anything!
Happy to help, ma'am. Tao Kaka's got a lot to learn. She's gonna be a big girl soon.
Yep! Tao's gonna get lots bigger, especially in the booby area!
No, Tao, he means big as in more mature. Not, boobies.
Oh, if you put it that way.
Let's not start with the congratulations just yet. Tao, do you actually remember any of what we just talked about?
My money's on not a damn thing.
It was rather complicated.
You guys are all being meanies, meow! Tao remembered all of it!
Then let's review what we learned today.
Okay, fine. So what is the name of Luna's Nox Nictoris?
1. Mukro Algesco Yukianasa. 2. Mukro Somnio Musashi. 3. Arma Ribore Mushurin. 4. Geminis Angrium Ouroboros.
Oh, Luna's impressed.
Well, well. You done good, kid. I'm proud of you, Taokaka.
Yep.
I hope that it wasn't just a lucky guess.
Enough of that, Ragna. Here you go, Tao. A nice hot meat bun.
Yay!
Oh, is this idiocy finally at an end? Well, at least I seem to have found time for a nice nap. Come, it is time we left.
Oh, I made enough for everyone. Please, help yourselves.
Oh, please don't concern yourself on our account. Au revoir, madam.
Leave all the leftovers to Tao!
Wait, but didn't she summon this Ragna and Platinum and Jubei from like a couple days in the past? How are they gonna get back? They're stuck here in the wrong time period.
Hey, leave some for me! Hey!
Luna too!
Eat up, guys.
Well then, don't mind if I do.
Please do. Oh, and on that note, thus endeth this installment of Teach Me, Miss Litchi.
Yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to have 2 Ragnas and 2 Platinums and 2 Jubeis running around. Great.
See everyone in the next game! Meow!
Yeah, the Continuum shift will fix itself, don't worry. They didn't give me a piece of artwork for that one? Alright, that took a lot longer than I thought. I remember the ones from the previous game were lengthy, but I don't think they were as long as this. Maybe that's why this one only had 5 episodes, and I think the last one had 7, I want to say. But they were informative. A lot of it was stuff we kind of already knew, but a little bit more detail. It's kind of nice that they have some world building stuff, but they put it on the side, so it's like, quote-unquote, optional for people if they don't actually really care about it. But it's nice that it's there. So with that, we should have everything unlocked in the gallery except for things that require level 16 to 20. Well, thanks for the stretch, Lark. Very good call. Make sure you're stretching at home and sitting up in your seat and unshrimping as well. Thank you, thank you. So since that took longer than I thought, we're still gonna do the gallery now, but at least for YouTube, I'll split the video just to make it a little bit easier to look at. But we're gonna go on and look at the art gallery and see all the nice art that we've unlocked.